James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, introduces the idea of motion versus action. And motion is the idea that you're getting everything ready, you're moving, you're creating all of this motion, you're preparing, you're planning, you're learning, but motion does not produce results. The only thing that produces results is action. And that's really what the do zone is all about. It is about the difference between motion and action. And what I've done here with this channel is I've tried to put together the best ideas that I could to help you understand and apply the difference between motion and action. And the reason that that's happening is because I am a victim of this myself, of getting into motion and really feeling like I'm being productive, but not actually getting anything done. So let me give you just a quick story about that. I became an entrepreneur about 15-ish years ago, depending on when you're watching this. And one of the things that I started doing is I started learning. I started grabbing this course and this training and that training. And I took this idea and that idea, and I got it all the way up to the point to where it was time to launch and take action and get the results and crash because I couldn't take that action because I was addicted to being in motion. And so what happened was I got really smart and I was very capable, but I wasn't actually getting anything done. I was just repeating the same cycle over and over and over, staying in motion, never taking the action, never getting the results. Until one day I realized what was happening, and then it was time to change. Once I made that change and stopped being in motion and started focusing on taking actions that produced results, everything improved from there. And so this channel is really dedicated to understanding that difference between the motion and action. Thank you, Mr. Clear, for making that so clear and really diving into that and getting as deep as we possibly can so that entrepreneurs can focus on getting more stuff done, staying in the do zone. And real quick, there's 3 rules to being in the do zone. Number 1, you must be working on a relevant and current project. So nothing that is going to be meaningful in a year or nothing that stopped meaning something to you a year ago. Okay, it has to be relevant and current. Number 2, you need to be able to create an immediate and measurable outcome. Okay, so it has to be something that you can accomplish with immediacy. It doesn't have to be like 5 minutes or an hour. It can be that day or whatever, but you get to decide that immediacy, but it has to be measurable. It has to be something that you can say, I accomplished this objectively. And then the third rule related to being objective, whatever you're working on needs to be objectively observable by a third party. And that's one of the most important, because my biggest problem as an entrepreneur was binge learning. Oh, wow, this course looks good. I want to pay this guy because he did a great job of writing that sales copy or whatever. And so you can't objectively watch somebody learn. You can watch them watch a video and listen to an audio or something, but you can't crack their brain open and actually see them learning. And so that rule is to prevent the binge learning and making sure that you are only taking actions that are productive. Here's an example. Watching a course on how to do Facebook ads, as an example, or YouTube ads, is not necessarily considered in the do zone. Taking what you learned, because I can't watch you learn stuff, right? Taking what you learned and applying it and creating a Facebook ad and testing some copy, that's in the do zone because I can objectively observe you doing that. Okay, so rule number 1, relevant and current project. Rule number 2, must be immediately achievable and measurable. And then number 3, must be objectively observable by a third party. That's how you get into the do zone. And that's how we draw a clear line of distinction between motion and action. I invite you to subscribe to this channel as we continue to dive into the difference between the two. And hopefully this is going to make an impact on you as well. Thank you. Look forward to building a connection with you.